It's not bad at all, honestly. We are super happy with the way everything turned out. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day as always. We are back out in the garage and we are all in upgrade and install mode today. We're working on several different videos, several different upgrades and mods. So if you guys want to stick around, hit subscribe to the channel, follow along, see what we're up to. I appreciate it. Anyway, if you caught some of our recent videos, we've done some off-road lighting upgrades to my son's truck. So I'm working on a different project at the moment on my truck. But we're working on my son's truck and his lighting upgrade packages. And MicTuning happened to stumble across one of those videos and wanted to send us out a switch to control everything. So I got it on the bench over here. I'll show you what we got. Looks amazing right off the bat. A lot of different functions and everything. So we're super excited to get this installed. Huge shout out to MicTuning for contacting us and sending this out to try, unbox, and show you guys how it works. See if you want to pick up one for yourself for your off-road lighting or any other electrical connections and switches that you may want to control. You can use it in a truck, car, off-road, UTV, side-by-side, boat, RV, anything like that. Doesn't have to be a truck. But anyway, we're excited to get started on this one. We've done a couple of, like I was saying, we've done a couple of other lighting upgrade videos. We just installed some off-road pod lights on the hood for him. He's got a custom grill with a light bar in it, so I'll leave those links down below if you want to check any of that stuff out, see what we're up to. And of course, we'll cover some of that in the video here in a little bit. So yeah, if you want to stick around, follow along with more stuff like this, I appreciate it. Leave it a thumbs up, helps the channel out tremendously. Subscribe to follow along with more product reviews, testing, unboxing, all that kind of stuff. We do all kinds of things on the channels, mods, upgrades, performance, even mix in some travels and hobby videos and stuff from time to time. Comments, leave them down below. Try to answer everybody's comments. But anyway, let's jump to it, show you what we got. So like I was saying, this is the MicTuning P4 switch panel. It comes in a 4-gang or an 8-gang configuration, so you can pick either one of them in this particular one. Now they have all kinds of stuff on their website. Of course, I'll leave all the links down below so you can check it out. They have wireless boxes and control panels, all kinds of different remotes and everything. Today, we've got this one that we're working on, the P4 switch panel. So let's get it unboxed and see what all we got. So right off the bat, they do excellent work with their marketing and branding. Look at, they got some amazing stickers, decals and stuff in here. That's pretty awesome branding right there. Just tons of stuff in here. Good gracious. There's no short supply of stickers in here. Of course, we've got our user manual, so we can get all of our details of how to install this thing, all the wiring, everything in it. They got QR codes, so that's nice if you want to pull it up on your phone or tablet or whatnot. Shows you how to wire everything, how everything works. What's really neat about this is you've got momentary on for like a horn or something, you can turn it on. You've got toggle it on for red. Everything's color coded. You've got purple will be flash. You've got green strobe lights, and you can set all kinds of control modes and everything in there. So really thorough instructions to show you how everything works and how to get it installed. They've got the all of the different switch labels. So they have tons and tons of switch labels in here. Water pumps, off-road, DRLs, chase lights, side-by-sides, running lights, just tons and tons of different configurations. So more than likely, they have something that'll fit what you're looking for. Just tons of stuff in there. And here is our little switch panel. So they got it nice and protected in the box, and here's all of our stuff, how to turn everything on and off. And of course, we'll use our custom labels to label all of our setups and everything. But you can feel just how solid in it's metal. It's like cast aluminum or something, because it's really solid piece here. So we've got our wiring, of course, to get all of that. We've got our amp fuse block here. We've got our mounting brackets in the box, everything that we'll need to get this thing mounted the right way. And of course, our main master control unit here for all of our wiring. That's a solid piece as well. Looks like we can pop that open. There's all your fused relays and connections and everything in here with how everything works and your switches. So nice solid piece. And then of course all of our wiring, nuts and bolts, even includes a screwdriver in the package, but tons of different connectors and zip ties, fuse taps if we need to. We've got some fuse taps already, so we can use one of those, but if not, includes a fuse tap. So yeah, everything that you could possibly need to get it installed. So now we just got to get underneath the hood in the truck, start getting it wired up. Looks like a really solid, thorough kit, and with some nice instructions too. I love when they actually include instructions in the box, and you don't have to go online to get it. So, all right, let's get started. All right, so step one is all said and done. We've mounted our switch, our control switch, on the mounting plate and the swivel bracket. So it will swivel. We've got it right over here on the A-pillar. We were trying to figure out a couple of different places we could put it in here so it wouldn't be in the way. But we decided over here you could still use the grab handle just fine. It's not in the way of anything. And this piece is really pretty sturdy. So we mounted it right to the back of it, screwed it in. It's solid. It's not going anywhere. And we can swivel it out of the way if we need to. And on top of that, we chose this configuration so the wire is close to the top. We can run it behind the trim and down and through to the control box under the hood. And so everything's nice and neat. So now we just got to mount the control box and everything under the hood. That's next step we're fixing to work on now. And then start running this wire. And we'll be even closer to wrapping this thing up. So far, so good. All right, phase two is done. We've got our master control box under the hood mounted and secured. We looked around for several different mounting options under here. Pardon the mess, it's a little dirty, but that's all right. We were originally going to try to mount it over here on the side of the fuse box and make sure obviously we didn't punch into anything important. There's a lot of empty space underneath it, but we decided against that because of the length of the wire and the location and everything. So we skipped that. Then we were going to try to mount it back here in this corner, but there's a lot of other wires and stuff, so we decided to use their custom angled bracket, and we mounted right on the edge of the firewall in this metal lip. So it is super secure now, and it's not moving. We use their self-tappers to clean up this spot and measure everything real good. It doesn't touch anything to do with the brake booster or anything like that. And everything is nice and secure and mounted. And then we can pop the cover off and we can access everything. Still have plenty of room to get our wires on this side if we need to. And obviously tons of room on this side. So now that's the next step all finished up. So now we just got to start wiring in all of the other stuff. All right, guys, we are making some progress finally. It's not bad at all, honestly. It's just more or less us trying to rewire some of the stuff that we had already previously wired. So the instructions are great. There's not a lot to it because really it's not that complicated. So it shows you in the instructions how to wire from the positive on the battery into your disconnect right here, your circuit breaker. And right now we've got it off, and then straight up to the positive on the controller. We've got our negative run over here to the negative on our battery. And then we have our master switch run inside through the firewall. You can see kind of sort of back there in the back. It runs through the firewall inside. We'll show you all that cleaned up here in just a bit. And then for right this second, we've got our light bar and our pod lights wired into the same number 130 amp switch here, or fuse, because you can double wire some of this. It shows you in the instructions how to do that. You can double wire some of this, so if you want them to strobe at the same time, come on at the same time, flash, whatever you want to do, as long as you don't kind of overrun the circuit, you can wire into the same ones. So we also have our accessory trigger on right here. Right now we still have it set to the battery because we're just doing that for testing purposes. So if I close the connection, boom, light comes on right there. Light's on. We got power and we're good to start testing this stuff, and it's working great. So we just got to kind of finish tidying up some of the wiring. We've got our fuse tap wire run right here. We're fixing to tap into the fuse box, so it'll run off of, or be powered by the trigger on the fuse tap instead of constantly being available in the battery, so we can kind of make sure we don't kill the battery. But that's really up to you and your install, how you want to handle it. But yeah, everything's coming together perfectly. This mounting spot seemed to be just fine. We got to trim some zip ties, of course, and finish tidying everything up, but we are almost done. All right, we've got everything squared away under the hood. It's not quite as clean as I want it to be, but it's pretty dang close. Probably end up rerouting some of these power wires here to get some of this slack out and get it all nice and clean. But everything's wired up. We ended up using the accessory turn on, so instead of it being on battery all the time, so we got it wired up and over here on the fuse tap, so when you turn the key on, there's the power to it, and now it's got power. Everything's run. We've got our disconnect all done up, and then when you hit the button, there's our lights turned on just fine, and it shows you on here that that circuit is lit up and running. So we just got to put our cover on. I've cleaned up some of the wiring on here, zip tied it out of the way, make sure, and then we've got to just clean up the wiring inside the cab to the switch, put our labels on, and show you how that works, and this job is finished. And here's our switch all finished up and wired inside the truck. So again, we've got it on a swivel, so the wire behind it's for the microphone. You can swivel it, and so you're sitting right here. You've got easy access and reach to everything on the switch. And we've still got to put our labels on and everything. We just finished testing it all out. Works good. We'll show you the lighting and the modes and everything here shortly. But we ran the power to it down the trim and down the pillar behind the weather stripping, all the way down the side and underneath the dash and back out of that spot I showed you earlier. And it's all nice and neat and tucked away. We're good to go. Alright, so here's some night test. If you haven't noticed, Mr. Bones is hanging out on the front of the truck here. It's the spooky season, depending on when you're watching this. So anyway, we've got everything all figured out, wired up and tested, and it's working great. So of course you can just hit the button in regular mode, and boom, there's everything on. There's the pod lights and the light bar in the grill wired up. Of course, we've got our daytime running lights wired in, so our pod lights, our grill, and our bumper lights down there all work at the same time when the truck is on. And then we'll switch some modes and show you how all that works in just a second, so you can see the different modes that you can program on these. So this thing has 4 different settings. So of course it's steady on like we just showed you. It's got a blue one, momentary, so like if you had a horn or something where you just wanted to push it for a short burst, you can do that. And then it has a slow flash, like the same blinking as your blinker or whatever, so you can do that. So that click you hear is the relay for the pod lights. That's not the MicTuning controller. All right, and so now we've got it swapped over to the strobe effect. So again, the clicking you hear is just the relays for the pod lights. That's not the control box that we installed, just so you know. So I'll go inside and show you how the controller works on the inside now. So of course it's night out, it's dark and everything, and you can see we've got the amber DRL still on the pod light out on the hood, and so we can reach up here and turn the box on, the controller, and you can see just how bright that is. And then there's our decal that we put on for our dual lights, for our light bar and our pod light, so it's all done at one time. There's your mode button that you can change the modes on everything. So if you hold that, it will blink, so you can program which ones you want to program how you want. So you can turn it to the blue momentary, the purple for the turn, and the green for the strobe. So you can program any button you want to do whatever you need it to. Alright, so we can push our dual button that we've got programmed up there, and we can turn our lights on. There we go. So we got red for solid, and you can see that we've got everything lit up now on there. Then you just click it one more time, turn it right back off. And yeah, that's just how easy it is. So didn't take super long to get it wired up and installed. Just took us a little bit longer to figure out some of our specific wiring setups that we had to do. but turned out really well, and the switches and everything are real heavy duty and robust, and so should last quite a long time. And it's cool how you can multi-wire stuff together and then turn on the different settings and everything for different things to do, strobing effects or momentary or solid, anything like that. But yeah, it worked perfect. So guys, that was the unboxing, install, and review of the MicTuning's new P4 switch control panel. So we are super happy with the way everything turned out. My son absolutely loves it in his truck. He's already planning more lighting projects, which I don't know if that's a good thing, but he's already planning more projects for it so we can use more of the switch's capabilities. Well, we've had it in the vehicle and real world testing it now for several days. I always like to actually do some real world examples and testing of these things to make sure they hold up and do what I say they do. And it's working flawlessly, no trouble whatsoever. The buttons are very sturdy on there. They have a real good feedback and feel to it. I don't know if I showed in the video or not, but you can hold that power button for a couple of seconds, I think 3 seconds, and it'll turn off that backlight. So of course, nighttime driving or down the road or whatever, it's very bright, which I like. But if you don't have stickers on all of them, the decals on the buttons, that bright white might be a little distracting or too much for you. So they have a feature for that. You can turn it off if you don't need it, and then they'll only light up when you press them and turn them on and off. So well thought out kit. It's got everything in there you could possibly need to get it installed. The only one little thing is the power wire to get the positive, the power from the battery to it might be a little short for your application, so you might have to source a little bit of extra wire. We managed to make it work for us just fine, didn't have to add anything else to it. Everything worked out great and is working like a charm. So yeah, I'll leave all the links down below if you want to check this stuff out. Some of the other projects we've been working on, lighting upgrades and packages on my son's vehicle and build, if you want to see those and follow along with the stuff that we're doing. A huge shout out to MicTuning for sending this switch out to us for us to try and install and show you guys what it's all about. It went off flawlessly, and real happy with the way it turned out. And they have all kinds of other stuff on their website: off-road lighting, other switches, wireless switches, remote control stuff. So check them out if you're interested in it. I'll leave the links down below for you to see. If you found the video helpful or informative, entertaining whatsoever, give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel out tremendously. Consider subscribing if you want to follow along. We do all kinds of stuff here on the channel: unboxing and review, tutorials, car, vehicle upgrades and mods, performance mods, racing. We'll even throw in some travel videos and other hobbies and stuff. So you might find some other stuff you want to stick around for. I'd appreciate the support and you hanging out with us and watching another video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.